Welcome everyone to the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. We are live from our nursery here, and I have a surprise for you. We have Dame Daphne Sheldrick with us here, and of course you all know head keeper of the nursery, Edwin. We're here to answer some questions, and we already have some questions here. Edwin, Cynthia asks, how do you balance your family life with your elephant family life? That must be very challenging.
It is a very challenging situation, but one has to work out with it because elephants are also part of my family, and that's why I take both together, giving a time for my children and my wife, and also giving a time for the elephants as well.
I see Daphne, Carrie asks here, have there ever been situations where an elephant needs his favorite keeper to be there?
Most definitely. You know, the elephants do have favorite keepers, and sometimes when they come in grief-stricken and find themselves among what they consider the enemy, they just want to die, and that's when you have to bring the favorite keeper in to handle them gently, talk to them softly, because elephants can read your heart and they react to empathy. They're very telepathic animals.
Great. Honor asks, Edwin, how did your love and compassion for these beautiful Ellies begin?
My love and compassion for the elephants began when I came to work with the Sheldricks, because that is when I saw the elephants for the first time, and that's how I developed all the interest and the love with the elephants and relation to them and how they react, how they behave. That made me to develop all this compassion and love to them.
We have another question from Margaret. Maybe you can answer this, Daphne. Do you plan to seed Amani with some of your ex-orphans so the babies currently there will have a family they can join when they're ready to go wild? Or do you have a different plan for Amani?
Well, at Amani, the plan is to put our elephants into compromise through poaching injuries, because it's a much softer environment than arid Savo. And there are wild elephants there anyway that already associate with our orphans, and more coming in because the orphans attract the others, and they will have wild friends when they grow up, and they're already associating with those wild friends, so there's no problem there.
Fantastic. Edwin?
Yes.
Jennifer asks, when the elephants are returned to the wild, is that area protected from poachers and others who may do them harm? And aside from donations and communicating to others about the important work you do, what else can we do to help?
When the elephants are released back into the wild, yes, it is a protected area that has rangers who are in charge of all wild animals. And we believe and hope that these animals, these elephants, will be protected from the poachers. Aside from the donations, if you want to help support the elephants, spread the word that poaching is illegal, poaching is evil. People should stop buying things that are made from ivory to help save the life of the elephants.
Great. Mum, Tamara asks, with the bond that elephants have, why do the mothers leave their babies when they're stuck in the well or wherever?
An elephant matriarch, irrespective of being a mother, is the leader of the herd. And she is responsible for the safety of the entire family, not just her calf. And so they have to make very tough decisions because she will not sacrifice the whole family just for one, even if it happens to be her own. Elephants are very, very noble creatures, and you know, they have great compassion, highly intelligent, and very caring of the family, a very strong sense of family.
Yep. Edwin? Linda Campbell asks, my question is, how do you remember all their names, especially after they are reintegrated back into the wild? Do you tag them, any of them? Or if so, do you have a formal tracking monitoring system?
It is important that when you have your family, however large or big it is, you have to remember them all and you have to identify them all. So being with the elephants all through makes a very big difference and makes it very easy for me and all the keepers to remember all the elephants. And also we can tell them from character, from body shape, from texture of their skin, and they have very close bond with us, and that's why it's very easy to tell them apart.
Edwin, Honor asks that burning question, how did your love and compassion for these beautiful Ellies begin?
Love and compassion to the elephants began when I visited the Sheldricks and came to see the elephants and developed a great love to them because that was the first time I saw the elephants.
And then, Edwin, Donna Freeman asks, which of all the orphans has touched your heart the most?
Well, all the elephants have touched my heart the most, but we've got a few. If I mention the names Mbegu and Suguta, Mbegu specifically because she's a very smart elephant. She's got a very unique character. She's a little mini matriarch, but acts like a human being, responsible for the young ones, trying to protect the ones that are fighting, trying to be with the little ones and nursing them and touching them all the time. Makes her very important to me because I see a human being in her.
Yeah, she is a special one. Catherine asks you, Daphne, it must be a wonderful, albeit sad moment when they choose to return to the wild. What are the first indications that you notice that shows they're becoming ready for that next step?
Well, it's a very slow process because at any age an elephant duplicates a human of the same age. They have the same age progression and the same expected lifespan. So they don't just suddenly decide to go. There's a bit of toing and froing. They will always love and remember their human family that have always treated them with just tender, loving care. And with elephants, you reap what you sow, and they never forget. And so they will keep in touch with the human family as well as their wild friends and eventually their wild elephant family.
Yep. Angelique asks you, Edwin, when the orphans come to the nursery and the other orphans and the keepers are their new family to them, do you think that when time passes, they forget their first family and really feel part of the new one?
Elephants have got a very perfect memory, so they will not just forget everything that happened, or they will not forget completely all their past family, but they'll have a new relationship with the new family that they have encountered and will treat the new family as part of their family now. But if they ever come together with their old families, they'll still remember them.
Scott asks, how does the tourism industry in Kenya affect the work of the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust and other conservation organizations, Daphne?
Well, tourism is very, very important to the economy of Kenya. Through the tourist industry, millions of way through foreign exchange. It's exceedingly important to the country, and through the revenue that tourism brings, of course, the government is able to provide some for the protection of wildlife.
Well, that's been great. I think you guys would like to see what's behind us. We have all our little elephants clustered behind us, but we're hogging the screen at the moment. So let's just show them off for a minute. There they are. Thank you all so much for joining us, and I hope we can do this again soon.